Joe Schwager back at the White Oak Lanes along with Frank Applestein and Mike Geyer. And we're ready to bring you the third game of today's final competition. This is John Crunkleton, the number 2 seed of Edgemere, Maryland. A tough opening draw for John, leading the 5, 9, and 10. John will be going after this on the left-hand side, trying to take out both the 9 and 10 with the 5-pin. And nice shot. Little early shot of adrenaline. Peter Pierce, our defending bowler of the year, after a come-from-behind victory in our second match. Starting out, taking 4 out of the middle. And 7 out for Peter. Mike, I'm not sure what it is. Middle frames that last game, and again now it seems like something's distracting Pete. Got his concentration back around the end of that first game, but
he said to me earlier he just hadn't felt right today. And even in the semifinal matches today, I asked him to describe his match. He said he felt lucky, and for Peter Pierce to say he felt lucky, usually he feels good because of his skills, but he said that he had got some help from some of the other bowlers and not being able to follow through in the last frames to try to shut him out, but he's not just feeling right today.
And there's a little bit of that lucky. Coming across to nail the 10-pin and a spare in the second frame for Peter Pierce. John again a little bit light on the left-hand side, leaving the 3, 7, and 10. And heavy on the 3-pin.
Well, we'll see if John does what he indicated he would do when he has problem with the ball staying out a little bit to the left. He will make an adjustment on the lanes to allow the ball to be directly into the 1-2 pocket. Overcorrected, but it's a little better. He's fishing right now.
Give it a little shrug like it could be worse. Looking at the old basket in the handle. Pins running all around the 5-pin. And 9 out in the third for John Crunkleton. Score of 34. Peter Pierce, 17 and a spare through 2. taking a shot at the 3, 9, and 10. Missing to the left. And 9 out for Pete. Down by 1. 33 through 3. John Crunkleton with 34. And there's a strike in the 4th for Peter Pierce. Getting ready to make his move. And we're going to be back with the middle frames of this, our 3rd game of competition, right after these messages. And we're back. John Crunkleton of Edgemere, Maryland, number 2 seed. Holding to a slim 1-pin lead over Peter Pierce. Peter did put a strike up in the 4th, and let's see how John answers. Answers with 1.
Joe, as we had indicated earlier, many of the bowlers shot personal best scores this weekend. Certainly, John bowled one of his better games in the 10th game of his qualifying round, shooting an all-mark 196 in the last game to make the cut by only 5. Very capable bowler.
And I see John opened up in the semifinal round with games of 180 and 183, the first 2.
That first match, he threw a triple in the 9th and 10th in order to win by a score of 180 to 165 over Bill Honeycutt.
John knows the feeling of the pressure. John was the first bowler in the history of the DPBA to win back-to-back events in the same calendar year. Qualify that with the same calendar year. Buddy Creamer, a few years prior to John's accomplishment, won the last event of one season and opened with a win in the next season. Peter Pierce on a strike in the 4th. Picking off the 3-pin. 5 and 10 remaining. Peter with 59 through 5. John Crunkleton with a 3-pin lead. Neither bowler seems to have found the line that they're looking for.
They both have to be very happy, though, that they're both in the match with the scores that they're bowling. Fortunately, the other bowler is not getting a big lead, so this is going to be an interesting match.
Nice try on Peter's part on that tough setup. Whichever of these two gentlemen makes it to our last game is they're going to be in a strike competition with one Mr. Steve Ivero. These are the very lanes that Steve earlier in the day during the semifinals put the 6 strikes back to back. There's another square one for John Crunkleton.
Joe, I'm sure that on this Father's Day that both of John's sons, Greg and JR, are both rooting for a very nice Father's Day present for Daddy John.
Both sons are young bowlers in their own right. And picking off the front one. John's going to look for the 2 on the right with this ball here. And taking them down for 8. And 76 through 7 to Peter Pierce's 69 in the 6th. And we're going to be right back with the final few frames of our third game right after this. And back for the final frames of our third match this afternoon. Peter Pierce in the 7th frame. What was that, Mike?
Boom.
Strike right there, putting Peter on top by 3 pins. That's a tough ball for Pete right there, pulling off the 1-5. Again, picking off the front one, 7 in the 8th frame for Peter Pierce for a score of 92.
It's hard to believe that neither one of them have been able to get 2 marks in a row. I'm sure that's going to be remedied now.
I wouldn't be surprised in the last match of the afternoon, no matter which of these gentlemen meet the top seed, I wouldn't be surprised to see 8 or 10 strikes in that game. Adrenaline's going to be flowing. In a fine field this weekend, we had 164 of the top Duckpinners in the nation here in Silver Spring for the 4th stop, our 1984 tour. John Crunkleton sends out for 86. He's down by 6. We're down to these 2 gentlemen and just 1 more.
Well, they're as far apart as they can get in the game of duckpin bowling. The 7 and 10.
Apologize, we had a error in our score there, and John Crunkleton with that 9 gives him 105 in the 9th, and Peter Pierce with 92 in the 8th. So John Crunkleton has a 3-pin lead. But maybe not for long. Peter was reacting to the fact that he may have pressed that button a bit too soon. Covers the spare. That spinning pin would have taken down the 5-pin after Peter had activated the dead wood machine. That would not have been a strike. That pin would have been respotted and he would have had to shoot it. Last frame, Peter Pierce. Solid 9-pin. Moves out to a 6-pin lead.
I think this is the first box that he's actually had a lead. Looking over quickly, yes.
And taking it to the right. It's 5 here to put John on a doubleheader in the 10th.
Just enough. More than just enough.
And 130 for Peter Pierce. John Crunkleton with 105. No ifs, ands, or buts. This first ball's got to put 10 away.
All right. Right on time. Can he do it again?
They say the second one's easy. I don't know if either of you gentlemen have found that to be so. I sure haven't.
I didn't have a problem. I didn't throw the first strike. He's got to be happy now that he has the shot at it, that he has the opportunity. Right there. Oh.
Still fighting for it, but
Close, but not close enough.
10-pin reluctant to go down. And 125 for John Crunkleton. Turning up short in our third match against Peter Pierce. 130 to 125. And we'll be back for our final competition right after these messages.